Moon Cresta, this is Mission Control, confirming you are in position to commence attack.
This is Moon Cresta. Affirmative, we're in position.
Alright, Cresta 1, engage.
Cresta 1, engaging. I'm entering the battle zone now.
Cresta 1, what's your status?
This is Cresta 2. He blew up.
Already? Damn. Alright, Cresta 2, you're up.
Okay, Cresta 2 engaging. Entering the battle zone now. What the heck?
Cresta 2, come in. Cresta 2? Cresta 3, what happened?
He lasted like 3 seconds out there.
Then it's up to you, Cresta 3. We're all relying on you.
I don't wanna.
What? You need to engage.
Can't I just come home? We're getting annihilated up here.
Listen, the entire planet's survival depends on you. You're the hero we need. I believe in you.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at Moon Cresta for the Colecovision, published by Opcode Games. Moon Cresta comes in Opcode's fantastic packaging, complete with a magnetic closing box, full color manual with inserts, and a new injection molded cartridge. Moon Cresta retails for $60, and this is another game that requires a Super Game module to run on original hardware. Or, if you're lucky enough to have a ColecoVision Phoenix, it'll work just natively. Alright, let's have a look at the game and see how it plays. After the splash screen, you're right into the main menu, where you have the option of playing either the original Moon Cresta game or the modified version by Century called Eagle, adjusting your options and viewing the high scores. In the options menu, you can set how many points are required to gain an extra life, what language you want to play in, English or the original Japanese, and whether you want the sprites in-game to be full color or a limited color scheme that reduces flicker. I'll show gameplay of all these options throughout the review and in my footage tomorrow, but I would recommend using the simplified palette that reduces flicker unless you're playing on a CRT. It makes the game much nicer to play, in my personal opinion. Starting a new game of Moon Cresta first, you come to an arcade attract screen. Although Moon Cresta was ported to several systems, this is a port of the original arcade game. So in both Moon Cresta and Eagle, you'll be adding credits and playing like you were on an actual arcade cabinet. Pressing the pound symbol on your keypad, or hashtag for today's youth, adds a credit. And depending on how many credits you have, you can play either a 1 or 2 player game by pressing that number. Moon Cresta is a static space shooter like many other arcade games of the era. Here, each of the 3 lives you get from a single credit are represented by 3 sections of your ship, and they all play slightly differently. The first is the forwardmost section. This small shuttle-like spacecraft has a small footprint as well as small firepower to match. With a single blaster, it can be difficult to land a shot on your enemies, but being tiny does have the advantage that it's at least theoretically easier to dodge attacks. Once you lose that one, you play as the middle section. This is a larger ship, but you now have a double shot, so hopefully you can clear out the enemies faster. Really, despite the fact that you need to lose a life to get it, playing with this guy is kind of a relief. Losing your second life, you get to the base section of the ship, which is a wider version of the second ship. You still have 2 shots, but the real adjustment here is that your blasters are more spaced apart. The game is played in 10 waves, and if you pass them all, the game loops and you continue for points. That doesn't sound so bad, but man, this is a hard game. The enemy movements, especially in the first few stages, are incredibly erratic and take up a lot of the real estate on the screen. Unlike Galaxian, where enemies dive in small clusters and predictable patterns, in Moon Cresta, you can be evading opponents that absolutely swarm you. Even when you think they're off the bottom of the screen and you're safe, sometimes they swoop back up in sort of a pincer maneuver. Wave 1 and 2 have these swoopy things called cold eyes. They split in 2 when you hit them, and they are relentless. Wave 3 and 4 are superflies. I consider this to be one of the easier sections, but they can still be tricky when they dive down at you, sometimes engaging in that pincer nonsense. After Wave 4, if you still have more than one of your ships left, you get a bonus sequence where you have 30 seconds to try to dock your ships together. If you fail, the game proceeds as normal, but if you succeed, you get big-time bonus points. A high score depends on you being able to do this right. Use your joystick to guide the ship and the button to fire your rocket, slowing your descent. Land square and you're golden. An additional bonus to successfully pulling this off is that you get to play as the docked combo until you lose your next life. This gives you some welcome added firepower while it lasts. Wave 5 and 6 are these things called 4Ds. They turn invisible and have this nasty habit of reappearing right in front of you. Then you move to the meteor stage, which, first time you reach it, it'll take you completely by surprise. These things fly at you and you don't have much time to react. The last stage you face is atomic piles. These things turn into missiles and fly at you. Unfortunately, I have to show you the last waves from the Eagle version of the game because I couldn't get that far in Moon Cresta. That's Moon Cresta, and it's punishingly difficult. But despite the fact that Eagle is incredibly similar, I actually found it to be much easier. Let's look at that one. Here, the ships look different, and just to my personal taste, I think they look a bit better. The waves are essentially the same, but with different names. Instead of the cold eyes, we have mantas for stages 1 and 2. Stages 3 and 4 have tegors, and stages 5 and 6 have eagles. The eagles are likely the biggest change enemy-wise in the game, as they don't really teleport the same way as the 4Ds do, which is a welcome change. Then you have comets instead of meteors, and valors instead of atomic piles. After the last stage, you loop back to cycle through the stages until you die. Like I said, I find Eagle to be way easier than Moon Cresta. As you can see here, I was able to sweep out the placeholder scores on the high score chart, no problem. And that's Moon Cresta for the Colecovision. So what did I think? While I didn't like this as much as, say, Galaxian, it definitely has its own charm and a unique feel. I really like the fact that each of your 3 lives plays slightly different with the individual sections of your ship. I also like the bonus stage, where you get to combine your rockets. You feel so excited to play as a combo when you do it right, that you're actually extra nervous to not get shot. Also, you would think between the 2 games included, Moon Cresta and Eagle, that they would feel the same, but they really don't. My favorite is Eagle, because I find it easier, but your mileage may vary. If you're looking for a shooter with a different kind of feel, definitely look into this one. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members, I appreciate the support so much. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.